What up, folks? Welcome to another edition of the Panthers Fan Talk Position Edition. I'm Eric. With me, as always, Will the Thrill.
Talking quarterbacks.
Talking about.
And that's always a hot topic around Carolina because we got the most talked about quarterback in the NFL, even more so than Tom Brady. All of his cheating and everything. We still get talked about more. Cam. He's getting talked about as some booger mess about his teammates. Didn't think he was a leader or some junk. It's always something with Cam. Like, somebody's got to say something. Dude put a video up where he was spiking a volleyball 6 months ago, and people were complaining that he should be rehabbing his shoulder, and people complaining that he's pitching underhanded at a kickball game, which has nothing to do with the way his throwing motion. Like, it's always something, but at the end of the day, we got a guy that was a MVP just 2 seasons ago.
Right.
Took us to the Super Bowl just 2 seasons ago. The best athlete to ever play the position, as far as size, speed, combination, ability. I mean, his running ability is magnificent. His passing, I mean, way underrated, like extremely underrated passer. His good passes, like when he is on his game, when he's getting protection, which we talk about in our probably pretty much every video, but in our offensive line position edition, if he's getting protection, I mean, the guy's as good as anybody, like throwing the ball. So, I mean, he's Superman for a reason.
Yeah, when he's healthy and when he has protection, I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's at least up there, with the Brady's and the Rodgers and whoever else you want to put up there. But he takes a lot of scrutiny for pretty much nothing. I think it's all because, the only people who really like him is the ones in Carolina who actually get to see him play and see how good he is. Everybody else is just guessing and going off of highlights, and it's popular to not like him. So, a lot of the journalists and whoever, put blogs out about him about, he's not a leader and the teammates in the locker room don't like him and all this stuff. And, that's just total BS. But as far as his play, man, he's broken all kind of records, from his rookie on to, the single season, passing and rushing touchdown combined?
He's got every record that has to do with passing and rushing.
Yeah. So, I mean, the dude's a great player, man. We just got to keep him protected and keep him on his feet. Let him not take those big shots, and, he's great.
We can't get away from running, in my opinion. And for the record, he's got tons of passing records as far as, first to do this in his first season, first to do this in the first 2 seasons, top to do this in the first 3, 4, 5, 6. He's always up at the top. I'm talking about guys like Marino and Peyton Manning and, just all-time greats. I mean, he's up there with these guys in passing categories. That's what drives me nuts when people talk about his play. The dude can fit passes into windows that very few, if maybe some windows that no other person can in the league. And granted, when he throws a bad pass, I mean, it's really, really bad. He can throw some really bad passes, but if another person incompletes a pass by 2 yards and he incompletes it by 20, it's still incomplete.
Right.
But with all that being said, we got to keep him running. He's got to keep running, in my opinion. If we want to be productive, he's got to have the threat of the run.
Yeah, I think that really gets him going when he makes a big run, and he just seems to play better after that. I mean, maybe he don't have to run as much, but he's got to have at least a couple of runs designed for him. And maybe especially in the goal line, man. I mean, you know how dominant he is in the goal line. We just hand him the ball, and it's usually 6 points, all the time. So
yeah, agreed. I would like to see us get back. There's no risk in sneaking the ball. No quarter. Freaking Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, is at their late years, or Tom Brady's still late years. Every quarterback ever runs a sneak. No quarterback ever gets hurt running a sneak. Why we take that away? I understand you don't all want to keep running the quarterback dive over the top maybe because he might take a shot, but the quarterback sneak that's, and like you said, if it's first and goal from the 3, Just run that until we get in. He's going to get in.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the guy's phenomenal in my opinion. He's, he's MVP. Like, he did, his single season 2 years ago was as great as any offensive single season ever. He took a step back last year. I think it was offensive line. I believe you think it was offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Also, coaching didn't help us out. We talk about that a lot in our receiver video. You got to get our receivers on routes so they can run and put them in position to make plays. As far as the rest of the quarterbacks, first of all, we got the most dynamic quarterback in the league as our quarterback, and we got the most dynamic quarterback in the league that doesn't play quarterback but plays every other position.
Oh, good.
Freaking Joe Webb is like, he's one of the greatest players like to watch. The guy's a quarterback and he's out here on special teams just laying it all on the line. He really epitomizes what Carolina's all about as a football team. For me though, our backup situation, Anderson looked to be not the Anderson we used to have last year when he came in. He's getting older.
Yep.
I worry about that a little bit. I think if we were to ever have to go to our backup, I think we should have a quick trigger to go to Webb.
Right.
You want to touch on either of those two?
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit it, man. Derek Anderson's getting older. He didn't look as good when he come in to start for us in the Tampa Bay game. You know, we were at that game and he threw like 3 picks. Had a horrible fumble, man, on like a quarterback run. But yeah, we got to give Webb a little shot, man. I mean, if we do have to play Anderson and he's not playing well, we got.
Hope to God it don't come to that.
Yeah, you know, we got Joe Webb. Give him a chance. And, you know, he's a dual threat like Cam. You know, he can run, he can throw. He's obviously not as good as Cam, but he's in that ballpark, so.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the same stadium.
Same
He's
stadium,
there,
same town, same city. I mean, you know.
So, with that said, again, obviously, hopefully it doesn't come to that. And for me, I'm grading out our quarterbacks. I get a little bit of edge because we get Webb. No other team gets to use 2 quarterbacks every game, even though we're not using one at quarterback. But you got a guy this year coming in. Better protection, I think. A more dynamic playmakers around him. I think the receiving core, Benjamin being healthy and, you know, got last year behind him. Funchess going to be focused on more. I like Samuel better than Ginn on the deep balls because, you know, if he catches 51%, that's going to be better. And, dude, I really look for Cam to have a bounce back season. I think if the ship goes down this year, it's not on Cam's shoulders. It's not Cam's fault. I'm not saying he's going to have the MVP season again because, I mean, that was just dynamic. Like, It's hard to predict anybody's ever going to do that. But I think he's going to have a really, really good year. And because of that, I'm grading out our quarterbacks. I think Cam returns to prominent Superman's back, and I grade our quarterbacks at an A.
Yeah, as long as, like you said, as long as we protect Cam and keep him on his feet and not have him run for his life, man. I mean, he's for sure a top 5 quarterback in the league at his best. Well, actually, at his best, you know, he's one of the best. He's like a top 3 probably. Or
at his best, he
might be the best. Yeah,
we saw that 2 years ago.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, Cam alone deserves an A. So, we'll give the quarterbacks an A, man.
Dab on them, folks. So check us out on Twitter.
At Panther Fan Talk. I'm at Eric the 6'5" on Twitter.
Check out our other positional breakdowns here on YouTube at Panther Fan Talk. And as always,
keep
pounding.